What's up, you mofos? Welcome back to Tuesday Night Trash Talk. I am live from Conway, South Carolina. And what's up, Triple P?
Hey, how you doing, Patriotic? How's life in Hickville treating you?
Hickville? Nothing but fucking squatted trucks, giant ass fucking beetles, little fucking lizards, and concrete driveways. That's how Hickville is. Oh, not to mention the tobacco fields and everything else.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a lot better in the wintertime. You don't have nearly as much of that cold white shit on the ground.
You ain't got the white shit, but it sure the hell gets cold down here.
It can. I mean, I guess South Carolina, you can get a little frosty. Silver and Gold Stack Attack's probably the one to ask about that. That's his neck of the woods, but I don't think they get a whole lot of snow. Not like y'all in New York. New York, you guys get hammered.
Well, yeah. You don't get really snow down here. It's a little dusting, but I'll tell you something. I was driving down from New York, from New York to Myrtle, going to Myrtle Beach, and I'm looking at the weather, and up by us it was 80 degrees all week, right? And coming down here, I'm looking at the weather. I'm like, 75, 74, 72. What the fuck is this? I'm going 12 hours fucking south, and it's fucking chillier down here. But come to find out, that was Myrtle Beach, and since it's by the ocean, you got that breeze. So that's why it was lower. But in Conway, 20 minutes north, or south, whatever it is, 20 minutes north of Myrtle, it was 85, 86. So I guess it's just the ocean breeze that kind of drops the temp. But yeah, no, it's nice down here. I like it.
And you know what the best thing is about South Carolina?
What?
It's a home of Palmetto State Armory.
Oh.
That's a fucking place that I have been meaning to go to for a while, but I haven't made it into their store yet. But they're based out of South Carolina, hence the name Palmetto, because I think the palmetto is like the state flower or some shit like that.
You want to hear something funny?
What you got?
So for the first time in my life, I'm in New York. The only Bass Pro Shops they have is in freaking Buffalo or Connecticut, right? And
Okay.
Buffalo, I might as well go to the Bass Pro Shop in Virginia because Buffalo is fucking 7 hours from me in New York.
Holy shit.
So I went to fucking Bass Pro Shop here in Myrtle. Dude, I almost shit my pants. What a freaking awesome store. And I went up to the gun section. And I said, oh, can I buy a gun here and bring it up to New York? Oh yeah, we can do that. The only guns you can't buy here is pistols, and you can't buy ARs. I said, all right, that's fine. But I said, if I want to buy a Henry 44 or 30-30, can I buy it here and bring it up? I don't have to ship it to a local gun store up in New York by my house. Oh no, you can buy it right here. So I was thinking about it. I texted my wife, and she's like, no guns today. So all right. So I ended up buying bullets, and I went down the aisle, and they have bullets on the aisle. On They're not locked up. No one's behind you. No one needs to have to go grab them for you. You just go and grab them.
Well, yeah. Why would they be locked up?
Well, because they lock them up in New York, or they're behind the counter. Because
what the fuck for?
It's New York.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Throw it at somebody?
Dude, I loaded up. I bought quite a bit, but the only issue I seen that the bullets down here, the 223 and 5.56, are more expensive down here than they are up by me, which was weird. But I like the fact that it was freedom. I can go and grab as much as I want. Nothing's getting logged. They didn't want to know nothing. They don't care. And then another thing I bought. Now, I've stopped at a pawn shop here, and they also had a gun store that was in the pawn shop. And I bought some 30-round mags.
Sure.
I bought some of those, and I asked the guy. I said, "I am from New York," and he's telling me, "Oh yeah, we don't care what you do. And what between here and what you're allowed here, we don't care. But once you go up there, that's between you and your state." So I said, "All right." I bought some of them just to have them. You know, even though my mag is pinned, even though I can remove it. But
So those are not legal in New York then?
30 round mags, you know that. It's limited to 10 round.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Holy
Know
shit.
that. So I bought them for the hell of it. I said, fuck it, you know. Let me get some they were only $15 a piece, so I believe I bought 2 of them. And
do any cops actually enforce that?
I don't know. I haven't found out.
I mean, have you ever heard of any law-abiding citizen getting arrested for having a 30-round mag?
Maybe not in our county, not in Orange County, but you know, Westchester County, Rockland County, New York City, they probably fucking enforce it. Hell yeah.
Fuck.
But man,
that's crazy, dude.
What a great store. That was really cool.
My buddy was at Palmetto State Armory today in South Carolina. That's actually the reason I remembered that it was up there, actually, because he's sending me pictures from the store. And I'll have to text it to you later, Patriotic. They've got a fucking flamethrower sitting in the center aisle. They've got flamethrowers for sale there. I'm like, that's fucking great. Go to fucking Palmetto State Armory and pick yourself up a flamethrower.
I'll have to check it out.
You think New York might have a problem with you bringing home a flamethrower?
I don't know. There was those flamethrowers you can buy. Who had made them? Elon Musk or something? He made like a flamethrower, and you could buy them. I think on the website they wanted crazy money for them. I think they're like considered a torch or something now. There was a video of a guy melting snow with one up in upstate New York, so I'm guessing you can own them. But I don't think it's classified as a weapon.
I think it would be cool to have a flamethrower to like take out wasp nest instead of using a can of fucking wasp and hornet spray. You just hit it with a flamethrower. You might take down the whole fucking tree with it, but who gives a shit?
Especially like down here, man, with all these fucking bugs. Fuck yeah. I'd be lighting them fuckers up.
SGT Stacking just said, my brother and a few cousins are in law enforcement in Illinois. Word is Minnie will not enforce that stupid mag law. So that's good to know. That's good to hear.
I haven't tried to find out, but
here's the deal. You fucking are in law enforcement. You know, I was in law enforcement. You fucking raise your right hand and you take an oath and you swear to uphold the United States Constitution. And that means that you don't enforce laws that are not unconstitutional. You don't say you're just doing your job. You're fucking a tyrant if you fucking do that, period.
Oh, yeah.
It's not doing your fucking job. It's being a prick.
It's something it's fucking cool out here.
It's what?
I just like the freedom. It's definitely cool out here.
Dude, it's like where I'm at now in Southwest Florida, where I live, it's like fucking 85 degrees with almost 100% humidity. You there?
Yeah, it's definitely humid out here. But it's humid up in New York, too. You know, the whole East Coast is fucking humid. From Maine to fucking Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, this time of year...
He's in the chat. Fuck. Wonder how long he's been there.
The entire South and Southeast is fucking humid. Dude, when did you drive down to South Carolina? What day?
Friday.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. We left.
Hey, Mrs. Triple P, when did that jet crash? You might have been driving down the day. Did you hear about that fucking business jet that just fucking crashed on the East Coast?
You mean the one that Biden shot down?
No, Biden did not shoot it down. I'm actually going to be doing a crash analysis and a video on it that I'm going to air Saturday.
passed out because of lack of oxygen. And
No, nope, that's not what happened either. Incorrect.
sonic boom or some bullshit.
The sonic boom was from a pair of F-16s. They scrambled 2 F-16s after the jet. I've got confirmation of what fucking happened, and it was not a lack of pressurization, and it was not Biden shooting down the fucking jet.
Yeah, it was sad.
It's
young businesswoman and her 2-month-old or 2-year-old daughter.
Yeah, that whole conspiracy about Biden, I fucking hate Biden. Like he can suck my left nut. He's a fucking cock. But honestly, I'm not going to spread conspiracies that are not true. And the fact of the matter is that he had nothing to do with it. That rumor got started because the dude who owns the jet was a supporter to the Trump campaign. And that's why everyone's like, oh, F-16 scrambling, sonic booms, jets owned by somebody who supported the Trump campaign. Biden shot down the fucking plane. And that I can see why some people would think that without having all the facts. But what really happened is probably going to surprise a lot of fucking people when I drop this video.
Hey, am I in or what?
What's up, T?
How's it going,
Hey,
guys? I thought you were never gonna let me in.
Are you keeping T in backstage, Jal?
Yeah, man, I was in backstage like some punk back there, man. Oh man.
What you doing, T?
Oh, I just got back from a sports banquet, man.
How'd it go?
It went real well. My daughter battled back from an ACL total blowout last summer, and she played tennis this spring and hardly got to play at the beginning, and then worked her way up through the ranks and got the most improved player award and made a varsity letter. So to go from the bottom of the barrel to the top was pretty freaking awesome, man.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that ACL is no joke. I don't know if you guys have ever had to deal with that stuff, but physically and mentally, it's a bear.
That's great.
Yeah, we're really proud of her.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Hey,
So, how are you guys doing this evening?
Just talking about how humid things are down south.
Yeah, you guys got any
big bugs?
We have like hazy skies due to that forest fire up in Canada.
So funny thing, we were checking out our Ring camera,
Mm-hmm.
and where we are, we're actually getting ash on the ground.
Oh wow! Okay.
And people in my county, their asthma is flaring up. Allergies are bad.
Yeah.
A couple old people had to be evacuated.
Wow.
I don't know where the hell they're taking them.
Well, that's way worse than it is here.
And I'm like, I said to my wife, I said, where is this? Where'd this happen?
Yeah.
And they said Canada wildfires up in Toronto. Started with an O in Toronto. It's in Toronto.
Ontario?
Ontario?
Yes. No, not Ontario. It was
Ottawa?
I think it was Ottawa, Ontario, or something. But
well, Ontario is
I'm
Providence.
Like,
wow. Ottawa would be the capital.
It was somewhere, and I think it started with. Oh no, it might have been Toronto.
Yeah,
Toronto somewhere.
A little hazy over here, and I am an asthmatic, and it's breathing hasn't been the best last couple of days or so. They say it's supposed to blow over like tomorrow for us.
But isn't that amazing? We're about 7 hours to the Canadian border.
Mm-hmm.
No traffic, maybe 6. And God knows where this is happening in Canada. It was probably another 3-4 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
And how is that possible? I know the last couple of days up in the Northeast has been very windy.
Mm-hmm.
But, that probably didn't help matters. But that being so far, how the hell are we getting ash on the ground and smoke in the air? Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But it's been a dream of mine to go to Canada for some fishing. I can't wait to get up there someday.
Oh, yeah. Good fishing up there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, T, I'm going to have to, when we get off off the stream, I'm going to have to text you a picture of my buddy with the fish he caught down here in the
Oh,
Gulf. It's going to blow your mind.
man,
There,
I'd love to do some Gulf fishing. I've done a little bit here and there, and like Anna Maria Island off the pier, stuff like that.
okay.
And caught little stuff, and I've been out on like one of those party boats out in California where you're on a boat with 80 other people and people are getting their lines all crossed up and all that stuff.
No. This is a guy, you can only put 6 people on the boat.
That sounds awesome.
It's like 2,800 to $3,000 for the day.
Whoa,
And
that doesn't sound awesome.
Well,
it doesn't sound awesome.
Hold on.
Yeah.
If you got 6 guys, it's about 500 a guy. But hold on, you're out for 12 hours. It's 12 hours. You go 60 miles offshore. And when I send you the pictures of the snapper and the grouper that my buddy was catching, it's going to blow your mind. He's got like 60 or 70 pounds of fish.
Yeah, when you divide it up, yeah, that's not so bad. Speaking of fish being out there, do you guys hear about that kid that got eaten by a shark down in the Bahamas?
Ooh,
I didn't hear about that.
He was 18 years old. He went down there after graduation with all his buddies. He was like a star baseball player. Did a booze cruise at night, jumped in the freaking water against what all his friends were telling him, don't do it, dude, don't do it. He jumped in there. The next thing you see is like a shadow of a big tiger shark or something. And the kid freaking disappears just like that. Oh, so freaking sad, man.
Oh, yeah. You got to think of it with those sharks. A lot of people think the great whites are the most aggressive shark. And they obviously are one of the biggest sharks out in the ocean. But they're not the ones that attack the most. It's the tiger and bull sharks.
Yeah.
The bull shark is number one. And what makes the bull shark so damn deadly is not only how aggressive it is, but it can go into fresh water.
Yep, fresh water. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And here in Florida, like especially where I live in Cape Coral, it's all canals, and all of the canals are brackish. So it's kind of a mixture of fresh water and salt water. So, I mean, you get bull sharks swimming in the canals.
No, that's pretty scary.
Oh, yeah. My friend was catching them out of the canals.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't get that. Some of them get pretty big, but they're not like, I'd say if you see a 10-foot bull shark, that's a big bull shark.
Wow.
But usually they're about 5-6 foot, even smaller. But they're the most aggressive sharks, and then the tiger sharks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bulls will still fuck you up. I mean, a 6-foot shark, when it bites you,
take a bite out of your calf.
I mean, it's bite your damn dick off. It's gonna fuck
a 2-foot shark can screw you up.
Yeah.
It don't take much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But those they're you remember that back in World War II when I was at I think it was
USS
in Midway.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, and those were tiger sharks and bull sharks picking those guys off one by one.
Yeah.
Hey T, I was meaning to tell you, Mrs. Triple P is actually working on my schedule right now. We're trying to orchestrate a trip up to Chicago in July.
Oh, that'd be awesome, man.
I have a family member getting married up there, so I'm trying to make it up there for the wedding.
Oh, so yeah. Then you know what time it'll be, right?
What?
Can you see what I'm holding?
Baseball. It'll be baseball season.
Yeah. Can you see what I'm holding there?
My screen on my iPhone is so tiny. I see a silver coin, but that's all I see.
That's a Cubbies round right there for you, buddy.
Oh, look at that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have to take in a Cubbies game.
I want to go check out Sherry's shop over there in Oak Forest. Was it Collector's Gallery?
Yeah. And she always has a constantly changing, the whole selection over there. So it's always an adventure. I can go there from one week to the next, and there's all kinds of different crap there, man. She has a pretty high value.
See, that's the coin shop that you want. That's a coin shop you want.
Yeah, she's an interesting character too. I would have never guessed that she was a drag racer.
Yeah,
that video you put out blew my mind.
Yeah, she's badass, man, in a lot of respects. And my wife and I were over there visiting, and then we were just talking like, what? I think my wife asked, "What do you do in your free time?" And she pulls out this freaking video. I'm like, holy crap! she's reached whole new coolness levels right there.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
would have never in a million. I had her pegged for somebody that just like goes home, eats dinner, sits in
Yeah.
front of the couch, watches TV, and
Yeah.
goes to bed.
No, her husband and her, they have like, I don't know, like 6 cars or something like that. And that's her husband's a blue collar guy, and that's his thing. And he likes working on the cars, and he's always got a project. Matter of fact, in the back of the shop, I guess there's enough room for him to have a garage back there. So when I go visit, he always comes out and says hello and stuff like that. And he goes back and works on his cars. That's his thing.
There you go.
Wow. And you know what's crazier is it's such a small world. Way back in the day, I was probably, I guess I would have been in my mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Oak Forest. I had a house in Oak Forest, right at about 160th and Central Avenue. And that was obviously before the neighborhood got a little worse. I don't think
it's a little rough over that way now.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite as nice as it used to be, but I had a house there for probably 5 or 6 years, and I actually sold it to an Oak Forest police officer.
Yeah, I was really happy when she installed that security wall and with double locked doors and basically like a man shack there kind of. But basically there's a barrier between her and the customers where they get buzzed in once and they get buzzed in the second time after she gives them a good look over.
Well, I hope that she's packing when she's working.
Yeah, she's told me some stories about that too. That she's not comfortable with me sharing, but she's got protection near her. Just put it that way.
Oh, you got it, especially out in there.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. You have to.
Yeah.
No matter where you are in Chicago.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that's scary stuff. I was in there like about a week ago, and there was this dude that came in who obviously knew absolutely nothing about coins. And he was asking dumb questions and like stuff like, hey, looking around and everything. What's the most expensive coin you have in here? And she played dumb. She was like, well, I don't know. And just like was pretty much blowing him off. But who does that? And like when he left after, of course, not buying anything, she and I are like, man, this guy kind of seems like he's casing out the joint,
Wow.
Oh yeah, you get something.
Her spidey senses were tingling on that one.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially out in that area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'd put layers on.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, and that's like my coin shops, and a lot of them, the way they work. Obviously the people that are looking at coins, you'll get your walk-ins, but the regulars, it's all by an appointment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to come, you want to buy, you want to look at things, you want to sell. It's an appointment. You know what I mean? Give me a call. Oh yeah, 10:30 in the morning on Monday. That's fine. Come on in. You know what I mean? Because
so personally, I think like not just Sherry, but anybody that owns a coin shop in Illinois, I think they should be open carrying. That's one of the times that I think open carry would be more advantageous than concealed carry, because if you got somebody that walks in and he's thinking about doing some stupid shit, he knows that you're not going to go down without a fight. And he may just, he'll be a lot more likely to go find an easy target, because criminals are lazy. They look for easy hits. They don't want to work for it.
Yeah. Arthur Knight, the old guy in Hobart here in Indiana, he's got his old pistol right on his hip, man, that old wooden handle. And I don't know what caliber it is, but as old as he is, 102 years old or whatever he is, probably in his mid 80s, but he's ready. He's ready for action if he has to.
I'll tell you what, T, it doesn't even matter, because the majority of self-defense shootings happen inside of 7 yards. And if you hit your spot, it doesn't matter if you're just got a little old 380 on you. You're going to stop the threat pretty quickly.
Yeah, I remember one of your videos when you were explaining that, the core, just shoot for the middle, and that's your best bet, right?
Well, I mean, there's basically going center mass is always what you're trained to shoot.
Right.
Because that's your biggest target. And when you're involved in a self-defense shooting, what people don't understand, all of the keyboard warriors on YouTube and on Facebook think they're all experts, but they've the majority of them have never been in that situation.
Mhm.
And if you're ever in that situation, you have all kinds of physiological changes that happen to your body instantly that
Mhm.
you're not ready for. You get tunnel vision, you get auditory exclusion, you hear your heartbeat inside of your fucking head. Everything moves in slow motion. It's very, very, it's terrifying. It's
That doesn't
terrifying, but
even
you
count
don't
what
have,
happens in your shorts.
what's that?
That doesn't
Oh,
even
well,
count what
yeah.
happens in your shorts.
You don't really realize that until after your heart stops racing. But the thing is that most people, they don't understand that, and you lose your fine motor skills. So doing things that you train to do that should normally be easy, like emergency reloads and magazine exchanges and things like that, your hands don't fucking work.
Yeah.
So your best bet is to stop the threat as quickly and as effectively as possible. And the best way to do that is go for center mass. And if that threat has not stopped, then you go to the T box, go straight to the fucking head.
Just buy a Thompson and spray them.
Well, I mean, you're not going to really have a lot of accuracy with it, but I guess if you're inside of 7 yards, it doesn't matter.
Just spray them.
Hey, are you guys looking at the comments at all? I'm using my phone for this for the very first time because I normally use my computer on StreamYard. But there's some awesome channels here.
Oh yeah.
Looks like Silver Struck's here, SGT, and
JK.
yeah. Oh, Mrs. Coin Crew's here. There's all kinds of people here.
Who's this Mrs. Triple P chick that's in the chat?
I don't know.
Man, maybe I'd like to get to know her.
Bullion. Weekly Bullion's in here.
Oh, Weekly Bullion's in here?
Weekly's
I'm messing around with my phone just trying to get familiar with it.
So,
and, there it is.
Listen to this one. Listen to this one. I'm sure Weekly Bullion wouldn't mind me sharing, but we were talking on email because unfortunately somehow I can't get back onto my Instagram, so now I got to email everybody like I did when I first started. Unless I have their phone number. But he got eBay kicked his ass off.
Really? Why?
He went to go make a purchase, precious metals, and he had to they stopped him from making any purchases, and then they had to and you know he's never was late on a bid. He always paid. You know, nothing ever to draw red flags. I think he's thinking, now it's finally lifted after he had to give him some personal information, but I guess he was buying metals. And I wonder if maybe he bought too much or was buying too much that they kind of threw a red flag out there.
That's weird.
I thought that was weird. That's never happened to me.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that happening. That's crazy. And I've bought some stuff off of eBay that had, so like that capped bust that I bought, that was that coin's up to almost $7,000 now. I bought that off of eBay.
Wow.
Oh, I love eBay. You find some good deals on eBay. It's things that you can't find elsewhere.
Yeah. What are some of your tricks? I've got a couple of my own, but
for eBay.
Yeah.
So here's the way I play it, T, and I'm sure there's a lot of other tricks that I don't know about, but when I go into eBay, if I'm looking for something, number one, I find somebody reputable. I want to see at least 99% positive feedback or higher. And I want to see a rating.
A lot of sales.
That's up in the thousands. I don't want to see.
And a lot of sales.
What's that?
A lot of sales. You got to make sure
I don't want to see someone with a rating of 35 or 40. I want to see a super high rating, and I want to see all positive feedback. The second thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for people that will allow me to make an offer. So a lot of times
that's one of my tricks, buddy.
Yeah. I'll go into the filters, and I'll just look at the stuff that will allow you to make offers. So say I'm looking for a certain year Carson City Morgan. Well, I'll type it in and I'll go through, and then I'll find something, and then I'll check the value of the coin, and I'll see how far off it is, and then I'll see if I can lowball him for a little bit. And I mean, sometimes I've never ever bought a slab off of eBay for
Mhm.
more money than what the slab was worth. I mean,
Right.
generally,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can get it for several $100s less
Yeah.
easily.
That's where I buy all my toned PCGS Morgans,
Mhm.
all on eBay.
Yeah, I
And
always
all making offers.
I'll make the offers. You know, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you a penny to throw out an offer. And
You can
sometimes
throw
there
in
are
5
folks
of
that
them.
just like own antique shops and things like that. And, you
Yeah.
know, it's not that important to them. And because they've got a million other things on there, and you wind up with a good deal sometimes.
Well, the last score I just did, I don't know if you guys watched one of my latest videos, but I bought another Johnson Matthey Kilo bar.
Mhm.
And I looked at the guy's ratings. First of all, he had to make an offer on it. And then the guy sold over like 5,000 different items.
Mm-hmm.
He was at like 100%. He had like no negative. He had one negative thing against him. It was packaging. That was it. And
Mm-hmm.
out of 1,000 purchases, which is nothing. You're always going to get that asshole you can't please. But he wanted 1,050, which as is for a Johnson Matthey bar, Kilo Johnson Matthey bar, that that series of Johnson Matthey Kilo bar, I'd say online dealers would probably be charging 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,050 wasn't bad. I
Yeah.
mean, it was only $100 over what generic kilo bars were going for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let me shoot them at 950 with shipping, and then actually 940 with shipping ended up coming like 954 or something,
Mm-hmm.
which was awesome. He accepted it.
Yeah.
And
I saw that video you made about that one.
yeah, I only paid like $50 over generic price,
Yeah,
for a
I
vintage
remember
bar.
that. I remember that too. I mean,
Yeah.
you have nothing to lose if you don't ask. You
Yep.
know, all they can do is
Yeah.
tell you no, and it's kind of like
Yeah.
the story. The best score I ever got off of eBay was on my capped
Thanks,
bus,
Silverstruck.
Mhm.
and it was listed at like $3,200. It was like $3,200 or $3,400, and he said that it was like $500 below value. I looked up the fucking coin and it had just shot up to $6,000 within the last week. And
Mm.
he didn't even realize it.
Wow.
So I came in and offered him even less money and the fucking guy took it. So I ended up
Wow.
paying like $3,000 for a $6,000 coin. The coin's
Wow.
like up to $7,000 now.
That's
I got
fantastic.
$3,000 into a $7,000 coin, and it's only going to go up. It's not
Mhm.
going to go down. Like I love slabs because I look at that totally different than I look at my stacking base.
Mhm.
I look, of course, I look at slabs as more of an investment, I
Yep.
guess, and I look at my stacking shit as a hedge against inflation and extra savings.
Right. SGT says that he is a sniper, and I've been there, done that a little bit. The other tip I was going to give or suggestion or thing that I do is sometimes for whatever reason, heartburn, whatever, you're up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m, and auctions are ending, and there's just flat out not that many eyeballs on them. And it might be because the guy who set the auction like goofed up on the time or something like that. And because like if you're selling on eBay, you want your thing to end like at Sunday evening at 6 or 7 p.m. That's when the most eyeballs are on it. So when you're buying, obviously you want the least competition, and that's like in the middle of the night and a weeknight if you happen to be up for some reason.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that too. And what I like to do too, I'll keep my eye on something. I'll add it to the favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, if it's 6 days, I'm not going to throw an offer. If it's 2 days, I'm not going to throw an offer. I'll wait till the very last countdown within that 30 seconds. And that's when I'll throw in a number.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, at that point, you just hope you get it. But I noticed there was things like Engelhart bars I was throwing bids at, 3-4 days, in, that's, 3-4 days they got left still.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know it, we bid it up to $800, $900, $1,000. I'm like, oh, jeez,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess everyone's got their own ways of, doing it.
You know, I'll
We
tell you, some of these guys that are doing those Instagram games, have you guys seen that? Those
Yeah, I see.
you
Oh,
you,
The
yeah.
raffle.
you buy a
Like the little
spot for
horse races and
$10 or
stuff?
$20 or something like that, and then you're buy like 1 out of 10 slots or whatever. I
Mhm.
was
Thing
I
is, you
was
might lose and you're out of that money.
I was working the day before yesterday, and I was actually, I believe, in Chicago, and I was in the middle of a turn getting ready to fly back to Florida, and I got on my Instagram and I got into one of those games. I'm like, fuck it, I'll throw in $20.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting 2 spots, and I actually
No, you got 3 spots.
I got 3.
Yeah.
She's keeping you honest over there.
Yeah, she remembers more than I do. It's my old age. So I ended up winning 3 spots out of 4, and then I'm like, I thought I won the fucking coin at first. It was a beautiful toner, an 1885 Philly Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
And I got all excited because I'm like, holy shit, I won like a $100 coin for $20. That's awesome. And then I'm like, no, you get to go to the main game. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? The main game?
Yeah.
What do you mean? So I got like 3
hammer
slots on the main game, and I didn't end up winning. It ended up going to somebody else, which is fine. I mean, I just didn't really understand the way that it works. But those guys are making a killing because the people on the main game, he sold 6 spots at
Mhm.
25 a spot. So that's $150. And then he gave 4 spots from the satellite game, and he sold those at $10 a spot. So that was another $100. So he made like $250
Yeah.
on a Morgan that it was booking on the PCGS app for like $96. I would put it probably a little higher than that because it was a beautiful toner. I mean, so I'd say probably, it's probably at least $150 coin because it was a beautiful toner.
Someone told me those raffles are illegal.
They are.
Oh, yeah. Big
They
time.
are.
I heard
They don't even call them raffles. They call them like waffles and stuff like that.
But they're raffles.
Yes. Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I know there was a guy. I used to actually buy a lot from him. He was on Instagram. I think even Spectacular's done a few interviews with him. He's called Steven's Best Loots, and I bought a lot from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I even seen him starting doing. He does like the spots like you just said, and then he also does like. So, all right, I got a 1/10 Gold Eagle up here for $200. Person A does 100. Person B does 100.
Mm-hmm.
Now, then they pull the number or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever to pull the letter. If A got it, then he only got it for $100. But person B is out of 100.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But
Hey,
yeah, I see a lot of those games going on.
SGT's got a good question. I'm really curious to know the answer. And so, Patriotic, you probably have the best perspective on this. He's curious on how these new tax rules are going to work for everyone that sells using like Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo, et cetera, et cetera. I just started doing auctions too. I connected with a CPA who's going to kind of help me navigate all that stuff, but I don't know very much about it at all. Do you, Patriotic?
So,
You sell a lot.
what I started doing now is putting it through Zelle.
Okay.
And it's going right into my business account.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much. If not my business, I'll throw some of it in the personal account here and there. But I pretty much just, because it's going to catch up with me.
Uh-huh.
It's going to catch up with everybody.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? That just, it's going to catch up. And I'd rather not owe nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and,
My
now
advice
you
is
see posts.
just
You'll
keep your
see
damn
posts
mouth
on.
shut. I just
Well,
keep
the
my
thing is,
damn mouth shut.
Uh-huh.
now you see posts of online dealers and
Yeah.
official like big time dealers in our community, not like online dealers, but guys that are on Instagram that have actually a bullion business, and they make fun of the small time sellers. Oh, no goods and services, no only friends and family, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know it's going to come back and bite us in the ass. And
Uh-huh.
if this was a couple of years ago, yeah, I wouldn't care. But now it's like they're making it hard for us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just going to come back and bite us in the butt. So
Yeah,
we're going to have to keep tabs on it. We're going to have to.
Roman Empire says he has an LLC. I just got an LLC myself. I want to do everything legit, because the last thing I want to do is get myself in some big trouble or anything like that. But man,
Yeah, you don't have to be LLC or incorporated.
mm-hmm.
See, that's the big problem that people do. Like, even with my flooring business, I am not LLC. I am not incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm business as.
Uh-huh.
Doing business as. That's what I do. And people say, oh, well, it's good to be incorporated or LLC because God forbid you go bankrupt, your house is safe. They can't touch your house.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bunch of BS. If you owe money to the IRS and you owe money to the government, they do not care if you're incorporated. They will take your house. They will take your cars. They
Mm-hmm.
will take everything you owe to pay back your debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, and another thing that I don't like about incorporated or LLC is the government's more in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying more.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yes,
Here's the great
it
thing about
saved
an
you.
LLC, though. You can, if you have an LLC, Patriotic, you can show a loss for the first 3 years. The
Mm-hmm.
IRS expects to see a loss for 3 years with the start of a new business.
I can show a loss with a DBA. It's a business regardless. It's a business. There's really not much of a difference. The only difference is people have that drilled in their head that if they're an incorporated or if they're LLC, if something happens and their business goes bankrupt and they're in dire take their house,
Yeah.
that's BS.
Weekly
They
Bullion
can take
saying
your house.
DBA as well. I don't even know what a DBA is. What is that?
What's
Doing business as.
what's
Doing business as.
what's the startup cost with that versus an LLC?
It's not so much. It's pretty much the same. The startup cost is how much money you're going to put in your business. You know what I mean? It's pretty much, you go, you sign papers at your local town hall or your government, your county government building or whatever. It's simple stuff. You know what I mean? But there's really, I don't like incorporated. I don't like LLC for the simple fact that the government's more in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know about you. I don't want the government in my pocket. They're in my pocket as it is. I don't want them desperate in the pocket. But I think that incorporated makes people feel more better. I guess it's kind of like buying bullion, right? You feel a little more better if you buy government backed, right? Because there's more liquidity there versus in crappy old generic bullion, right? It's the same thing with like owning a business. I think people like that incorporated or that LLC. They feel like there's a more security there, but there isn't. If you're a business owner, regardless, LLC, incorporated, DBA, you still own your own business. It's just back in the day, if you were incorporated, your house was safe, pretty much. But it's not the case anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb, if you ask me. But I stay away from incorporated. I stay away from LLC.
Yeah. And here in Indiana, like, you don't even pay taxes on bullion. But I guess there's capital gains to worry about and so I'm kind of figuring it all out as well. So
Just
especially
what?
shipping all over the country.
Just you keep books on it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. You keep books on it, and the only time you have to worry about something is if you get audited.
Mm-hmm.
Audited, sure you have all your receipts, all your spreadsheets, anything that you can that tracks your. Make sure you just keep. If money's going out, they don't really care if money's coming in, whatever. They want to know where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They want to know where it's coming from. You know what I mean? So you just got to keep tabs on everything, and you're good. You know what I mean? Because regardless, a business owner is always going to get audited at some point. It's going to happen. Some people wait years before they do, but it happens. It's common stuff. But you just you ain't got nothing to worry about as long as you have your receipts, and you have proof. You know what I mean? And like when I do my taxes at the end of the year, my business, I'm in the trades, and anybody in the trades, we get some cash sometimes. We work for homeowners, we get some cash money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's if small businesses thrive on cash. We need cash.
Mm-hmm.
That's our little nest egg where we can throw in the safe and for a rainy day.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not dumb. IRS knows. I tell them, and I don't have to do it. I show them everything that I do with the builders, everything with the builders, or with a check that goes right into the business account. But at the end of the year, I tell my accountant, I said, hey, tell them I made this much in cash. Now, did I tell them exactly what I made? Hell no. But I'll say, hey, add 20 grand on cash. And it makes them
Mm-hmm.
feel better. I mean, you don't want no red flags. Because
Leave it.
once the IRS watch you, once they've audited you, or you threw a red flag up, they will always have their eyes on you.
Leave it
Always.
to Mrs. Triple P to pull up some information about a DBA. At least here in Florida, it can be established in 2 to 3 days, and the startup cost is about $80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's simple. It's
$50 for the registration fee, and a $30 price for a certified copy of your DBA registration. So you're looking at $80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the things that get expensive.
$80 in 2 to 3 days.
The things that get expensive, and luckily in my field, in the flooring business, it's not like electrical or plumber where there's there's permits and stuff, but certain counties in New York you have to be licensed, and like Rockland County, Westchester County, New York City, you have to be licensed to do whatever trades, from painting to flooring to plumbing to electrician. So that gets expensive. Like when I do work out in Westchester, Rockland County, I have to have a license. Jersey's bad. They want to license every fucking town you go to in Jersey. But the main cost of business, man, is that insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance is expensive. That's what the kicker. The insurance, obviously, cost of business and stuff. But it sounds hard. It sounds impossible. Everyone, when they start a business, they're worried. They're nervous.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to, just what the easy word is. This is the simplest thing you can do. Find a good accountant. That's it.
Yeah.
Have them worry about it. Find one that's good, that's for you, not for them, not for the government. That's for you, that
Mm-hmm.
cares about you and your money. And I love my accountant. My accountant is great.
You just got to learn to
just
play by a different set of rules. You got to learn how to beat them at their own game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and obviously, everyone stretches a little lie. Every business, like I said, if we told them the amount of cash, we wouldn't be in business. We need cash. But you just got to find a good accountant. You got to keep tabs on everything, have everything, even if you never use it. Ever use it. I keep all my receipts for everything. I throw them in a damn shoebox.
And
so
they
when
they know this patriotic, and that's the reason why they're going to push the CBDC so damn hard, because they're going to eliminate that backdoor option if your only option is a CBDC, and they are going to take in so much more tax money if we had a CBDC instead of the current financial system.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that video T that you did with Sherry, and she didn't think it was coming anytime soon. And I saw that you kind of disagreed with her a little bit, and I was just watching that video, shaking my head, and I was just thinking to myself, "Oh, Sherry."
Yeah, and there's even people that'll comment in my videos. I don't, sometimes people criticize and I ignore it. And this one guy was saying that cash will never go away. And he called me a fearmonger. I mean, he actually called me that. And I went back at him and said something. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said, get your head out of the sand. It is coming, man.
People don't want to
Yeah.
see it. Many, and I think that's kind of a defense mechanism that we employ as human beings to protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you see the freight train barreling down the tracks at you,
Mm-hmm.
it's just easier to turn your head and
Yep.
pretend like the tragedy is not about to happen.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for us, the middle class, the working poor, the people that carry this country on the back. We'll get 2 steps ahead. Something comes and brings us 20 steps back. And they're always after us instead of going after the people that are mooching the system,
Mm-hmm.
or the people that are loaded multimillionaires that have filed taxes in freaking years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they go after us.
Yep.
Like, you know what? Even somebody today, and $300,000. Let's say $300,000. Say husband and wife, they bring home $300,000. They got 4 kids. You know what I mean? That's not much money. But they think, oh, they're loaded. Let's tax the hell out of them. You know what I mean? They just, they're after the wrong people.
Well, they're after the rule followers, and because the people on either end of the spectrum, they know they can't get to, so they, look for us people who actually follow the rules and will pay what we
Oh yeah.
are
Well,
are supposed to.
and that's what's leading, us business owners to stretch a lie. You know what I mean? And that's what comes back to, like, us having cash and need to have some money that's our nest egg. If we told, the IRS exactly how much we make, we'd be broke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you got write-offs, but so.
See, the
Some people in
problem,
the
You know,
comments are saying that they don't use cash, or they know a lot of young people that don't use cash. And I work with quite a few young people that, yeah, that's true. They don't use cash at all. So it'll be us, the old ones that are making noise, or the younger ones who kind of see the problems and the challenges with this stuff. But it's coming one way or another, man.
well, yeah,
yeah. Oh
the
yeah.
young people, they don't care.
Mhm.
They could care less if they use a CBDC card or
No,
if
they
they use
don't care.
their debit
No.
card. They don't care. But what they're going to do to force the so-called baby boomers into a CBDC is they're going to start giving, when they implement the CBDC, they're going to start giving income tax refunds to your CBDC.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to start paying Social Security to retired people through the CBDC. So if you want your money, you're going to have to figure it out, because you're not going to be able to get it any other way. And that's
Mm-hmm.
how they're gradually going to push the boomers into the new system.
Oh yeah. They're going to be calling their grandkids over to try to help them figure it
Yeah.
out. How do
Oh,
I
yeah.
get this money? How do I get this money out of this computer? I want cash.
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to have to. They're going to have their kids or their grandkids teach them, because they're not going to be
What
able
do
to
you mean
figure
it
it
ain't
out.
coming out of the computer?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean I can't get this coin in cash? What are you talking about? It's sad, but it's going to happen. I mean,
You think
they're
the
going to.
government cares if they figure out how to get their money or not? The government doesn't
They
give
don't
a
give a
flying fuck.
no.
They don't give a fuck.
They'll just. Well, remember I was talking on last Tuesday about it. I on my Credit Karma, it popped up and saying I had unclaimed funds, and I'm like, unclaimed funds. The state, I guess I had a savings account. I think it was like $5,000, and I must have forgot about it. The bank shut down. or close my account, and it goes into the state, right? And they give you so much time to get that back, right? And I filed it, and it took like a year and a half to get it, but I eventually got it. But it'll just go into unclaimed if they can't get it out, and then the state will hold it for so long, and then they'll just keep it, and it'll go back in their system, into their pockets. So they don't care. I mean, you hear about these new. I don't know. It happened in New York. I don't know about outside of New York, but now there's like a death tax, an inheritance tax.
There's a death
Like
tax. You got to pay to die.
No, there's something. If your grandma dies and she's got $500,000 to divvy up between the family, that gets taxed.
So they're taxing an inheritance.
Yes, death tax, whatever they call it.
Well,
I read something about it, and it was something on the news. I don't know if it passed, but it wouldn't surprise me.
That is so jacked up. Wow. When Mrs. Triple P's father passed away in North Carolina, her sister and my wife got what my father-in-law had, and there was no tax on it. The only tax that they had to pay was when they liquidated his estate. And then there was obviously taxes associated with the sale of that. But the other funds and the life insurance money and all of that other stuff, there was no tax on that.
Yeah, it's terrible, man.
New York is just off the wall.
I have to double check with that, but I heard something that there was a death tax, an inheritance tax.
I don't know what's worse, New York or Chicago.
Oh, all those liberal states are bad. California, Chicago, Illinois.
Across the U.S. now.
Mrs. Triple P has once again corrected me.
Uh-oh.
That death tax you're talking about, she's saying that it went across the entire nation now. I guess it's.
Oh, there you go.
I guess it's something new that the federal government just implemented. It's not just
There
New
you go.
York.
There's your next video.
Someone that I know, father or mother-in-law just passed away, and they're having to pay like taxes on like $400,000.
Wow. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but somebody she knows, their mother-in-law just passed away, and they had to pay taxes on $400,000.
Well, there's a simple solution to that. Just don't die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Easier said than done. They say the only two things in life that are guaranteed is death and taxes.
Yeah, man. And as bad a shape as I'm getting in, man, I better do whatever I can to live another 50, 60 years.
And that's the same thing with wills. Wills are so important to have because I've heard so many stories and through family members and friends of family that old grandpa died one day and didn't have a will, and they're in court with the state.
But here's the thing though, T. Even with a will, it's so screwed up because even with a will, there's still all kinds of drama. Like the perfect example is when my father-in-law passed. He had a will that was ironclad, and he left everything that he had to my wife and to her sister. They split everything 50-50. That's what he wanted because my wife's parents are divorced. So obviously he wrote her out of his will and he left everything to his daughters. Well, his sisters, which would have been my wife's aunts and uncles, were all pissed off because they didn't get anything. And the grandmother. So there was this huge amount of fucking drama, even though the will was ironclad, written in black and white, because they tried to take the house. They tried to take, I don't know if you guys saw the video I did with all of the stuff he had in his house with, it was like a sports museum. like baseball card collections worth over $100,000. He's got autographed footballs from autographed baseballs, like you name the athlete and he's got it. I mean, we're talking, I don't even know how to put a value on some of this stuff. And to be honest with you, we have it stashed away for safekeeping. I don't even know what it's worth. I don't even know how to value it. I haven't even done anything with it yet, and I probably won't. It's just going to stay
And this
stashed
is
away. But they were pissed off because they wanted all of his stuff,
so
even though
you're telling me his sisters thought they were entitled to his
yes,
stuff? Are
yes,
you kidding me?
yes.
He's got kids.
That's
kids.
exactly what I'm telling you. And oh, by the way,
Oh my God.
Mrs. Triple P's dad's side of the family is very liberal, and it's her mother's side that's the conservative one. So there you go. If that tells you anything you need to know. But yeah, they're very liberal, and they said that was like her grandma said that was my son. That's my stuff. And 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 my wife said, I don't know what you're talking about, but the will, like the will was ironclad. It said all possessions, vehicles, properties, contents inside of the house, food. It went all the way down to like even food inside of the house. Everything is split between my wife and her sister. Like it, it couldn't have been any more specific. And like it got so bad that I had to go out and rent a U-Haul the next day. We had to load up a U-Haul and we had to like empty the house out. We took it to a storage facility, had to lock everything up in storage. I had to change the locks on the house so that
So
they
the
couldn't
sisters
get
wouldn't
in,
go find it.
so that they couldn't even get into the house. And we just had to wait for everything to go through the proper channels with the attorney.
Oh my
And
God.
then the attorney went through it was like an 8 or 9 month process. And the attorney finally said, okay, well, now you guys can drive back up to North Carolina and you can get all the stuff out of storage. It's yours. You can drive it back to wherever you want to take it. But yeah, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. So even with a will,
it's terrible.
it's still going to be, it shouldn't be that way. But when somebody dies, family members sometimes just see the dollar signs and they get stupid.
Hey there, Julie.
Yeah.
Julie.
Like, I've like my father, my father's well off. You know what I mean? And he's not getting younger. But I've had this talk with him. I said, you know what? I don't want nothing. I said, you know what I want? I said, give me your wallet. Give me your favorite shirt. Give me a picture of you and Grandpa. You know what I mean? I don't want his money. I don't want none of your stuff. You know what I mean? I just want sentimental things that, you had every day on your person or something that I can always remember you about.
And that's
I said,
honestly what Mrs.
give it.
Triple P wanted, was she wanted all of that stuff from her dad for sentimental reasons. All the stuff that we have not liquidated one fucking penny, not 1 cent. We have not sold a thing. I mean, obviously part of it is, we don't need the money, but even if we did need the money, that's my wife's things from her dad, and she wants to keep it. She should be able to keep it and someday pass it down to our kids.
But it's crazy when someone dies in a family and they come to find out they have money or they have, land and property. It'll tear families apart. And you'll get cousins and third cousins and fourth cousins coming out of the woodwork that you've never met in your life saying, oh, part of that's mine. I'm entitled to that. Bullshit. If a husband dies and his wife's still alive, it all goes to the wife.
Correct.
Wife died, then it all goes to the kids. If they didn't have kids, then it gets split between other family members. But it goes husband to wife or wife to husband, and then goes to the kids. If they have no kids, then there it goes to whatever. But
now, the only exception to that rule is if somebody is insanely beyond belief wealthy and they name specific people at their demise that they want to give certain things to, and they have the right to do that in their will. But I generally only see that with people who are very, very wealthy. You don't see that with people who are just comfortable.
Yeah, no, you'll see, like, you have a very good friend, right? Or a good, you didn't have kids, and your nephew was very close to your niece or whatever. You see family giving other things to other people in their family and stuff, but most of the time it usually goes to the wife. If not the wife, goes to the kids.
Hey, speaking of coming out of the woodwork, the great Silver Oceans just showed up. Hey there, Silver Oceans.
Hey, what's up, Oceans? How you doing?
He's got some pretty cool silver pours from time to time. I just picked one up, actually.
I believe I have.
His
In fact,
channel
I know
round.
I have both of his channel rounds.
Yeah.
I've got. I don't know. I feel like I don't think there's anybody in the community who I don't have their channel round. If there are, I didn't know they had a channel round. But every time I see someone roll out a channel round, I buy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool to put a little collection together like that. Mine's growing. Silver Oceans is my most recent one.
Yeah, I gotta jump on the ball and start buying more channel rounds again.
Have you been pouring at all lately, Patriotic?
Nah,
I haven't
I
seen
kind
a
of
pour
laid
video
off.
from you in a while.
Yeah, I laid off for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you put so much work into it.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time, and it's great and stuff, but I was throwing them on auctions, and people were offering, spot or a few bucks over. And
Mm-hmm.
listen, I'm putting work into it. I'm busting my ass to make these. I'm paying top dollar for shot. I'm not selling it for generic price. I'm not selling it for a few dollars over.
Those are people that you don't even waste your time on, Patriotic, because they don't understand that you're paying for a piece of art. You're not paying for an ounce of silver. You're paying for the labor of love that went into that ounce of silver.
Yeah, and the other thing is that not all of them come out good. It's like you work and work and work, and a good chunk of them don't even come out.
There was plenty that I had to throw back in
the furnace.
Yeah, absolutely. But I look at it this way: a 1 ounce poured round at current spot price right now, 35. No, 40, 45 bucks. 2 ounce, 75, 80. No, about 80 bucks. 10 ounce bar, 100 bucks. That's how it is. And you gotta look at it as it's art. It's a cool piece. It's supporting the channel. That's it. We're not the little guys like you or me or whatever pouring stuff. You gotta. We're doing that because we think it's fun, and obviously we're trying to sell some things and about the channel and put money back into the channel and stuff. But we're not Bunker Bullion or MK Bars that can mass produce it and have a wide audience where they can sell it a little cheaper. You know what I mean? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It takes time.
It is very gratifying when something comes out good, though. It's like a good feeling.
Absolutely. Exactly. And when you put out something good and you're going to sell it, you're going to want a good number on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be cool to work, but I just don't have the patience for it. I know that it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience, and I don't think I would be good at it because I just don't think I have the patience. But I can definitely appreciate how much work goes into it.
And not only that, you're always buying new stuff for it. From liver of sulfur to black tones to stamps. And let me tell you, those stamps are not.
Oh, yeah.
And most
the
of the
custom
stamps
ones are expensive.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, a 4/9's fine custom stamps, let's say a 2mm or 4mm, just a 4/9's fine or a 3/9's fine custom stamp that says 3/9's fine silver, you're looking at, I'd say, $1.50, $120 for one stamp. And not to mention, it takes a lot of hitting and to really ruin them, but If you're pouring every day or pouring every week, they're going to get worn out within a year time, and you're going to back to buying more. It's expensive, and there ain't much profit in silver unless you're selling bulk, right? Pours, yes, you can up it a little bit more because of work, but you really do the math, and you really got to crank. You really got to put out some stuff in order to kind of put some money in your pocket.
I think I'm probably the only person in the community that has a poured silver airplane up to this point.
Oh yeah, and let me tell you,
you know, I gave
good money for that.
I gave Big Red a challenge after that because I sat on the phone.
Oh, that dude is badass, man.
Oh, he's insane. I sat on the phone with him for like an hour, and we got off track, and he was talking about different challenges that he likes to take up, and I'm like, well, if you want a challenge, Big Red, I got one for you. I said, what you need to do next is you need to pour an airplane, but you have to make it flyable. So basically what I told him is, like, you know how people build those kit RC aircraft? I told him, build that, but make it out of silver and make it fly.
That was impressive what he did there.
I think I'm going to make a silver submarine and make it sink.
that shouldn't be too hard.
You know who's a really good pour artist that I've really been checking out his stuff? It's amazing. I think his name is Investment Silvers.
I haven't
seen that guy. Little tanks, little jeeps, boats, planes, and it's like replicas from World War II, like the World War II tanks, Shermans and Tigers. Guy's insane.
Yeah, my guy AJ Bain makes stuff like that too.
Yeah, dude's and awesome. You know, another good one is Gold Spartan, and he went from pretty much making bullion custom statues. He was the guy that used to make my channel rounds. And then I went to place a new order with them for I was going to do a series 2 with the Patrioticstacker rounds, and he says, you know, I don't want to leave you hanging, but I'm out of that biz. I'm not doing custom pieces anymore.
Who's that?
Anymore. Gold Spartan.
Okay.
And now he does statues. And I guess there's big money in it. You know, people are buying it. And but man, those are a work of art, and they are expensive. But now, who I reached out to do, I got recommendations from other people, and then Gold Spartan also recommended him, Locker Mint. And he's the guy that made our Tuesday Night Trash Talk rounds, remember?
He did great on those too.
Yeah, did an outstanding job, I thought. So now I have him. There's a lot of good guys out there, man. And everyone has their different little.
And I thought Rat Stack did great on my channel wings too. Rat Stack is quite the artist.
Oh yeah, Rat Stack. That channel round he made was amazing. It was really cool what he did there.
And that's what people don't understand, though, is that you're literally paying for a piece of art. It's not just, you can't look at it as an ounce of silver, because I can't buy the stuff at spot. So why am I going to sell it to you for spot?
Oh yeah.
El Tigre is here. Tiger Stacker in the house.
What's up, Tiger? What was I going to say?
Here, SF Stacker. Emerald Coast is here too.
How you doing? How you doing, Emerald?
Anxious.
So now you're getting into selling, T.
Yeah, it's been
Where
fun.
do you buy? Do you shop around at local coin shops and buy your?
Yeah, pretty much so. I just was at a coin shop in Hickory Hills, and I'm sure PPP knows where that's at. I was up in Hickory Hills yesterday, new shop, and I hit all my coin shops, and I hit a coin show a few weeks ago, and I met a couple guys from Indianapolis. So now, not only like going in person and buying, but now it's gotten to the point where guys are texting me like, "Hey, dude, you like Libertads? Check this out," and I'll buy stuff, just like sight unseen, or just a quick picture on that they text me, and like, yeah, send it, I'll take it. Bought.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you that, because I used to do the whole going to coin shops and checking out, seeing if I can find stuff to flip. And I mean, it's a hit and miss. You'll find a coin shop where they're having smoking deals
Yep.
on rounds where you can flip for a profit. But I've noticed it's hard because most of these places are asking, what online dealers are a little more, and it's a good price buying it for your stack, but there's not much room of adding profit to it.
Yeah. You know what I've
I mean,
noticed about the coin shops over the last several years is like whatever the coin shop owner is really into, forget about finding that item there. So yesterday at Hickory Hills, I found some cool stuff, but the dude was into vintage and he had some killer stuff, but it was a little pricier. There was no meat left on the bone. And it's because, I guess I would be the same way. You don't want to let go of the stuff you really, really dig,
Tiger Stacker just said in the chat, Triple P, love your Kool-Aid videos. I am a low-level pilot and a doctor, but I love your stuff. Tiger, you're going to want to see the video I release this Saturday because it is going to be aviation related. And I think you'll find it quite interesting.
But back to what I was asking T. Now, are you getting into the wholesale?
What do you mean? Like,
are you buying from wholesalers yet?
No, not at all. I don't know any wholesalers, to be honest with you. So if you have any connections,
you are licensed now, right? You have a business now, right?
Yeah, I have an LLC. I have a federal ID number. So I know absolutely nothing about the wholesale game. So, man, any advice you want to give me now, or maybe later on in a conversation? I'll take whatever.
I'll email you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I'll give you a couple wholesales out so you can. The only issue with the wholesales, a lot of them you have to buy. You have to buy a lot. I mean, you can't all right, let me get 20 ounces and an ounce of gold.
So what's the minimum order for?
Yeah, what's the minimum, man?
What when you say a lot? What's a lot?
It's different per wholesaler, but usually it's 500 ounces of silver or 5 ounces of gold, something like that. You'll find some out there, like smaller wholesalers, that will do 100 ounces of silver. There's even and then you have like what's it called? Rogue Mint, I think it's called. And they're more like those semi-numismatic high premium coins. Like you can buy a few of those, but there's different accounts out there. Like if you're going through Upstate or like an APMEX hole, you can go through APMEX. You got to buy a lot, and unless you're moving a lot, I wouldn't recommend it because you'll probably be sitting on it for a while. But there's some wholesales out there. I have a few names I'll give to you, and you can contact them, and some of them are reasonable.
Hey, Spokane's here, not to be confused with Spokane. Spokane's here.
Is it Spokane or Spokane? How do you say
I
it?
asked him, and he said it's Spokane. I always thought it was Spokane, but it's evidently it's Spokane. So he corrected me, so I'll get it right going forward. So
the other one that I always screw up, most of the time I screw it up on purpose, is New Orleans. It's apparently not New Orleans, it's New Orleans.
It's New
Orleans.
And if you're from there, if you're actually from there, it's actually one word. It's Nolans. Nawlins. Nolans.
Man, they got some good food down there.
Oh yeah, gumbo.
Po' boys.
Jambalaya.
Po' boys and gumbo. Yeah.
I guess it depends where you're from in the country.
I love Cajun food.
Oh yeah.
That's like there's this town by Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's called Wilkes-Barre, and it's kind of like New Orleans. People say like New Orleans, New Orleans. Well, Wilkes-Barre, it's Wilkes-Barre, Wilkes-Barre, Wilkes-Barre. I guess it depends where you're from.
I've heard it called Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah. Oh yeah. People call them different. You know, it's. I don't know.
Hey, the PPP, the Bears play down in New Orleans this year. That would be a fun road trip right there, buddy.
There's still a football team in Chicago, T?
Yeah, and we're going to be really good this year. Oh,
Are they really?
We might actually win 4 games this year. Up our win total by 33%.
No one's worse than the Jets.
Oh, you guys just got good. You got Aaron Rodgers, man.
Yeah. When's the last time they won a Super Bowl? 1969.
I'm still bitter after what they did to the Cubs in 2016 after they won the World Series. It was all downhill from there. It's going to be another 108 years. My grandkids will see it.
Well, we'll always have 2016.
Go to Chicago.
Is there? Mrs. Triple P's looking at the Cubs schedule, T.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, and it's against one of their rivals.
Who are they playing?
The Cards.
Oh, Cubs Cardinals? And it's at Wrigley?
At Wrigley.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to Cubs Cardinals at St. Louis. So
I've been to a Cubs Cardinals game at Busch Stadium before. Yeah. I don't like Busch. There's just no ballpark that's like Wrigley Field.
No, nothing compares. And although the fans over there in St. Louis are very passionate and it makes it fun because you're really into the game. And they're pretty, Midwestern folks are decent people.
I've been trying to tell Mrs. Triple P this because she just doesn't understand it because she's never been to Wrigley Field.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, and I'm like, I want to take her to Wrigley Field to see a Cubs game. We've gone to see the Cubs on the road at other stadiums, but it's not the same. It's not the same as seeing them at Wrigley Field. And you just, if you've never been there, you just can't understand it. You gotta experience it.
Weekly Bullion must be a Cardinals fan.
Oh, I'm slamming his Cardinals.
They've got our old catcher, Contreras.
Yeah, pretty much all of our good players are gone, T.
Who was the baseball team that had that whole Satanists at their
Satanist?
I don't know the game. Yeah, they had
what?
Huh?
It was this. I seen it on TV on the news everywhere. It was they were dressing up as Jesus.
That might have been soccer, man.
No, it was.
That's a devil sport right there.
It was one of the baseball teams. I swear it was.
Yeah.
What the anti-nuns? Yeah.
What?
Well, that's Old Man Junkins is in the chat. He just said the anti-nuns. What team was that? What it was?
I don't know.
That was
man.
baseball, right?
Never heard of that one.
Oh yeah, it was. The Dodgers. It was at the Dodgers. The Dodgers.
E squared sit up the Dodgers.
Yep.
Best Vision says Fenway's a great little park. I've been to Fenway. That's a cool place.
Yeah, I've never been to Fenway either.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have a Fenway South. We have a JetBlue Park in Fort Myers, and that's where they play in spring training. And I've been there, but I'm sure it's not the same thing as Fenway in Boston. Boston's a whole nother experience.
That's what it's called. Trans Nun Group.
I'm ready to spend some money. Why, Mrs. Triple P? What's wrong? How much are the tickets? She's looking up the cost of the tickets. It's going to cost me an ounce of gold to go to a fucking Cubs game.
Fuck that.
Oh, that's not bad.
You're
in the nosebleed seats?
Yeah, you might as well not even be in the stadium.
No, you got it. No, anywhere in the stadium is fine.
Yeah, bleachers are a blast.
Bleachers are a blast. Everyone's drunk and fucking acting a fool.
That would be great with a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
How much was it for you two to
$67 for bleacher seats?
No, it's
you can't beat that.
No, that's
upper reserved infield.
It's upper reserved in. Well, how much are the bleachers? I'd rather be
SF
at the.
Stacker says $100 for parking. You got to know where all the tricks, but it is expensive over there.
Well, you can always take the train downtown and then transfer to the L. The L goes to what is it, Addison Street or Waveland Avenue or some shit.
What's
Yeah.
what's the New York Yankees stadium called?
Yankee Stadium, right?
Yep.
Yeah, isn't it a name for it? What was the old one's called? It was a name for it. Something.
Yeah,
Park.
they haven't sold the rights to that one, have they?
I have no idea. I don't follow. I never even been to a baseball game.
Oh man, I thought you were American. Come on, patriotic.
Oh, don't give me that.
It's our national pastime, buddy.
NASCAR, baby.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'll know in a week if I hold the days off and if we're going to come to Chicago or not.
Well,
that would be fun.
Patriotic, you need to come to Chicago because there's a NASCAR race through Grant Park. People are up in arms about that.
I honestly, I don't watch no sports, see.
No?
I don't pay attention. No, I don't pay attention to any of it, especially now when everything became so political. I just I don't know. I guess the only sport you could say I can watch is the UFC.
Baseball is still not the least political, or hockey. NHL.
The least political, but they've had their fair share already.
They've had some, but at least baseball players have the respect to not kneel for the national anthem.
Look at the whole BS with the Dodgers. I know it's the Dodgers, but it's still baseball.
Silver Ocean saying is Patriotic says Patriotic needs to get to a baseball game.
Yeah, I agree.
Give it a shot, man.
So Patriotic, I got a dog on you for that, bro. You live in New York and you've never been to a baseball game.
Do you like beer?
Oh, of course I like beer.
He likes beer. Everyone likes beer.
Do I like spending $12 for a beer? No.
Oh my God. Now you're going to be, you cannot be cheap when you go to a baseball game. You got to go there with the mindset that you're going to go and do something fun and enjoy yourself. You can't worry about what it costs for a beer.
I can't
pay the man.
I can't. You know what I like doing? Concerts. I go to shows.
Oh, there you go.
Watch bands. That's what I like. And there I never buy drinks when I'm there.
Yeah, I always look at the concert schedule, see who's coming to Chicago.
I get hammered before I go in. So
well, that's the nice thing about football. You go into the stadium to sober up because for Bears games, 2/3 of the fun, especially since they're so crappy, is tailgating out. We get there. I'm cracking my first beer at like 7:30 in the morning.
Holy shit, T! Really?
It's a blast, man. Oh yeah.
Oh, I could never drink that early.
The fellas show up. We're leaving the house at like 5:30, 6 in the morning. We're cooking up our breakfast out there with our beers in our hands super early.
I'll tell you something though. I'm at my father-in-law's house here in Conway, and from the minute he wakes up, if he's off, and the minute he goes to sleep, it's fucking sports all day.
Mm-hmm.
All day on the fucking TV.
I will say I'm not as big of a sports fanatic as I was 10, 20 years ago. That's for sure.
Dude, this guy is so insane, right? With sports that he knows and his main sport is baseball, of course, and then it's football. It's like when you're in that sport mindset, right? You get into it. You know every guy's name in each fucking U.S. team from Maine to fucking California. They know their weight. They know their height. They know their scores. Like, how can you remember all that shit? How?
Tigerstacker just said T is there with his Cocoa Puffs and Dos Equis.
Well, it's Modelo, Tiger.
I can see that too. Eating your bowl of Cocoa Puffs with your beer in your hand.
No, we stop at Dunkin' on the way, get our coffee and our donuts, and we finish our coffee and go straight to the beer, man.
That's great. I don't know if I could drink that early though. Like the early Mrs. Triple P, what's the earliest we've ever started drinking? Like
it grows on you.
10:30, 11 a.m. About 11 a.m. I think is the earliest.
Holy fuck!
No, that's late, man.
Hope you're on
It's already
vacation.
time to start sobering up and going to the game by then. You got to at least be able to function your phone to get into the stadium.
Find the tickets on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Oh man.
There's some diehard sport fans out there.
Mrs. Triple P is a college sports gal. She's not nearly as we know she's a Braves fan. But I try not to hold that against her too much. But she's a lot more into the college sports. She loves college football and she loves college basketball.
I passed a big stadium today, and coming back from Earl's Inlet, and was it Carolina Emeralds?
Coastal Carolina, she said. She already named
Emerald
stadium.
Coasters.
What are they?
Coastal Carolina, she said.
Is that college?
They are a college.
They're
Football?
called Emerald Coast Stackers, right?
You don't fucking know, do you?
I thought she was the fact checker around here.
Their colors are teal. It's Brick Stadium. It's teal, bronze, and black. I was right with that.
Okay.
Teal. The color, I think, is teal or something. I don't know. I've read.
Yes, that's what she just said. Teal
something. I don't know.
Ocean's is into college softball.
She says they're in the Sun Belt Conference. I'm just giving her shit. I know she knows what she's talking about with this, but I got to poke fun at her.
So is that college?
It's college, yeah.
Or football, right?
Do you know?
I don't know if they got football. I know they're baseball for sure.
Oh, maybe it's a baseball stadium. That's funny. Pretty much every male in my family is big into football and baseball. I never got into it.
Jimmy Lacari said Mrs. Triple P loves college football and college basketball, and I love college ladies.
Okay.
They do have football? Oh, okay. They do have football.
My mom went to Coastal.
It was nice. It was a nice stadium. This fucking thing was humongous.
Hey, PPP, speaking of the ladies, can you see this lady I have here on my screen at all?
Oh, that's his favorite lady.
Yeah, I think he has a crush on this lady. A secret.
Her ugly muggliness. That's Mrs. Triple P's long lost grandmother, I think. Yeah. I think I just threw up a little bit in my mouth, T. Any chance I've ever had of having another erection is now gone.
Man, oh man. I never saw such a closet fan in my whole life, man.
T, no, happy wife, happy life, man. Like Mrs. Triple P has this fascination with the Queen and the fucking King Doodle Dick or whatever his fucking name is. So
he's gonna get his crown on the next coins, right? Because like in this coin right here,
if he makes it to next year,
he's crownless. He just got his little hair parted to the side there. He'll have his crown in the next one, right? I mean,
if he makes
that's
it,
what someone said. I don't know.
Yes,
I mean, the monarchy thing.
The guy's got so much health problems.
So here, let me give the phone to Mrs. Triple P because she's got the fucking schedule.
It's getting released on Monday, the King's Coronation Gold Sovereign. They're expecting it to sell out within minutes.
Oh, there you fucking go.
Oh wow, man! Talk about up-to-date information there. Thank you, Mrs. Triple P.
So you guys think it's me? I'm telling you, it's not me. It literally is happy wife, happy life. Like she I think she has like part ownership in the Royal Mint at this point.
Oh boy, I'm sure you have some on pre-sale already, Triple P.
No, I'm hoping she forgets. I'm hoping she forgets.
Now, what are they? 1 ounce or sovereigns or whatever?
Doesn't matter. She buy them all.
It would probably. I think it would be a 1/4 ounce, right, babe?
I don't know. I'm about to tell you.
Oh, she's going to look it the fuck up. Great.
You can get a credit card charge for like $5,000.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, Tiger says the coronation coin is sold out, so you'll have to go aftermarket.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You missed it. They're sold out.
She probably bought half of them. PPP.
She already bought them.
Yeah, they're gone, man. You have the whole population.
That's probably why they're sold out, because of my wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
Wants more sovereigns.
Yeah. Well, you know
I'm
what?
not big into those commemoratives, really. I never.
Honestly, if she wants to stack gold sovereigns, I'm okay with just the plain old BU gold sovereigns, because the premium on those is very reasonable. But
I like the old ones. You could get a gold sovereign that's 100 years old, and you're not paying any more premium than a modern one.
True.
I kind of like that aspect of it.
True, and there's a lot more history behind it too.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem, T. She doesn't want the old ones, and do you want to know why? Are you ready for the stupidest fucking reason you're ever going to hear?
Why is that?
Because they don't have the rose gold hue.
Ooh.
I can't make this shit up. the new ones, the way that they make the coin, it has, I guess it's got a larger concentration of copper in it, maybe. I don't know what they use, but something gives it that rose gold tone.
Okay.
And she loves rose gold.
Well, the lady knows what she likes, and that's that.
Yeah, well, whatever. As long as it's low premium, I'll buy the fucker. I don't give a shit. Gold is gold.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Emerald Coast is talking about that Queen's Beast completer. I think I only have 1 or 2 of those from that set. What is that set? The unicorn, the goat, the this, the that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think I might have bought the unicorn for my daughter. Well, it's basically the Queen's Beast. I mean, that's the set. But
which ones did we buy, Patriotic? We bought a couple of tubes of those 2 ounces. What the fuck did we buy?
We bought so after the Queens they did so well and they were so popular that they wanted to try to do a remake or do something similar. So they after the Queen's Beast, they started with the Tudor Beast.
That's it, the Tudor Beast.
And 2022 was the first one, which I believe was the lion. And then the 2023 was the Yale. And
right.
we bought the tubes.
Yeah, because I bought a tube of each. And so
yep.
10 2 ounces of the 22s and 10 2 ounces of the 23s.
Yeah, and you remember I was so pissed when we got them because they said they're tubes of 10. So I'm assuming that the tubes were full. And then just before they hit the door, Silverstruck did a video saying, oh, yeah, I got Tudor Beast, but I always buy an extra 4 because the tubes of 10 are not filled. So I was like, fuck. So I had to order another 4 of each.
See, I'm fine with a tube not being half filled or not being all the way filled, because then my OCD would be like, why do I have an odd number of ounces in this tube? I either want 20 ounces or 10 ounces or 30 ounces. I don't want to have some weird
28. That's not
20,
that's not
20,
odd
28.
numbers. Those are evens.
No, if I could pack 15, if I could pack 15 ounces into it, then I would have 30 ounces. That would be okay. But 14 is 28 ounces, and that's just weird.
I get what you're saying, but like the thing is, like Canadian Royal Mint, for example, Canadian Mint, when they do 2-ounce coins, the tubes come in 14 coins. That's 28 ounces of 2-ounce coins. The tubes are filled. The Royal Canadian Mints, when they do 2-ounce coins, they do them in 10 per tube. So that's 20 ounces. Why
And
not
I don't
fill
know
the
if
tube, do it the Royal ounces, 14 coins? It's weird.
you guys got short tubes. Sounds like a personal problem to me.
Well, we kind of walked into that one patriotic, didn't
No.
we?
Triple P's got the short tube. I filled mine up. Mine's about the bust, you know.
I will bite my tongue on that one. I think we all know that's probably not the case. So I'll just keep my mouth shut.
All right.
Jeez.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Did anyone see
We're talking about the size of our tubes.
Yeah. Here's for T here, since he likes to, he's a stack collector. Did you see the new Ice Age 2-ounce coins from the Royal Canadian Mint with the saber tooth?
No. I did just pick up a cool Australian coin with a bunch of critters on it. It's got the.
Well, they always got critters on it.
This one's got the kookaburra, the kangaroo.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And a koala. I had never really seen this one.
I just seen it not too long ago.
Her ugly mugliness on that side, but this side's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, it's funny, but they're known for their animals. On the obvious country's known for its animals, but all their coins they have like their country's animals: the kangaroo, the kookaburra. They have the I think they do they have the koala, right? Yep, the koala. Yep. They even put they had a spider on one of theirs as well.
Oh yeah, that.
But they're always putting the swan. They're always putting creatures on their coins.
I do like how birds. Canada and Australia have a high level of creativity with their coins, and
that's what the U.S. Mint needs.
Oh man, that's like a whole nother episode we could talk about. But there's nothing super exciting going on in the U.S. Mint.
Matter of fact, I've been talking about it for a while, but one of my latest videos, Bob commented on it, Death from Below, and he said, it'd be nice for the U.S. Mint to make a 10-ounce bar.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry.
I think that would be awesome.
Who are you talking about? The U.S. Mint? Who's that?
Yeah, right. Fucking a bunch of dumbasses.
The United States has a mint? Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but they do.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Fucking terrible.
Yeah, nothing too exciting out of them. The last thing I really got excited about was that ASC with the 75.
The V75.
V75. And I was one of the guys who got stuck and ultimately didn't get it. And man, that would really turn me off.
I got the V75 Eagle as well as the Medallion T. I sent them into PCGS. The Medallion came back a 69, and the V75 Eagle came back a 70.
You should be happy when your coins come back a 69, because isn't that like your favorite number?
It's my favorite number for some things, but not for coins.
Oh, stop.
How about number 10 for coins?
So here's the thing. 70 is better because it's 69 plus one more.
Oh, I know 2 people.
I think this patriotic.
3 people.
Uh-oh. You guys still there? Did PPP just get hit over the head or something?
No.
So you like 69 plus 1?
Well,
that's an easy way to remember why you prefer the 70, isn't it? I bet you won't forget it.
I like the new NGCX 1 to 10 system.
So do you like it? I'm not jumping up and down about that, T.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm maybe
Weird.
just because I've gotten used to the the 1 to 70 system.
The Sheldon
I'll tell you
scale.
something. It's much easier. It's much easier the 1 through 10, but we're used to the what we have now. But
Yeah.
give it a couple years, people will get used to it.
I think so. I think
You
so.
know what? It's similar to sports cards too, because if you send sports cards into like PSA, they grade them from a 1 to 10.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
Much great,
The old timers definitely don't like it. But
oh no.
I'm hopeful that it'll catch on, and if it's something that gets younger kids and younger guys and gals into it, I think it's a good thing.
Now, I would agree with that. Anything that gets new people to appreciate the value of gold and silver and of collecting and stacking, I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just not convinced that changing a scale from 1 to 70 to 1 to 10 is going to be enough to draw in some new people, though. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I'd love to see people come in.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll be the whole, I think there's going to take a lot more to get younger people. And a lot of the younger people who are into it are super, super talented, man. They've got a lot of knowledge. But we need numbers, that coin that you have that's worth $7,000. If 80% of the potential buyers of that die off in the next 15 years, it's not going to be worth that. We need younger people following behind.
That's a good point, man. I don't think anyone's ever done a video on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Like most of these die-hard numismatic collectors, these guys that have the big money for these expensive coins, are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. They're old. I mean, you go into your local coin shop, most of those numismatic guys that are going through the books looking at the Phil Morgan set or whatever, or they're older. So when they are no longer here, and there's not many new people going into the numismatic, but don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people going into the bullion field. There's a lot of, but like numismatic, there's not much collectors that are younger. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So here,
that's very, very true.
I agree with that, but getting into the numismatic stuff is kind of an evolution, right? Because I think a lot of people are very similar to me in the sense that I started stacking, and then stacking led to collecting. I was a stacker. I was a stacker before I was a collector. I had zero interest in collecting coins. It was Mrs. Triple P that kind of got interested in collecting first, and little by little that rubbed off on me more than I probably would have liked. But now I think I'm probably maybe a 60-40 stacker versus collector. And I think Mrs. Triple P is probably about an 80% collector, 20% stacker.
And you have a good point there, because do a lot of people that went from stacking usually go to collecting after they build their base. Example, like me, I've been doing it for 10 years, and I'm still not in that numismatic field.
Well, you are. You have your Morgans that you like, and you have
I have my little touch, but I'm not like
you love your pre-33 gold, and pre-33 gold does carry a slightly higher premium than your standard gold bullion. So even pre-33 can be looked at as a little bit of a collecting aspect. I mean, obviously you're stacking. You're stacking, but it's still collecting too.
Yeah, but like, for example,
go ahead, guys.
No, like I was saying, like me, like I've always said, I'm a 95% stacker, 5% collector. And me, I like my PCGS toned Morgans. I like my vintage. I like my pre-33. But when I go into a coin shop, when I go into online, I'm pretty much, I got bullion on my mind at all times. You know what I mean? I'm not really looking for that collector's piece. Once in a while, But I'm still mostly a stacker.
I agree with you, Patriotic, but I think your number of 95 and 5, man, I think it's a little bit. I think you're exaggerating just slightly. I think
No.
you're more like, you got to be like at least 15% collector, because I see you buying stuff, and like you'll text me and say, "Hey, I got this Morgan. You interested in it? I just picked this up." Like you've always got stuff, and I know some of it you buy with intentions
flip
of
a lot of numismatics.
flipping. Yeah, I know you buy some of it with intentions of flipping, but I also know that you keep your fair share too.
Well, yeah, I obviously have, my toner Morgan collection. I have my commemorative $50 collection. I have, my vintage, my pre-33. But like even with my pre-33, you know me, I'm not buying that slab.
Right. You like it BU raw.
I mean,
form.
I'll buy it slabbed if the opportunity comes across and it's cheap. But I don't know. I'm mostly a stacker, and who knows? In another 10 years, will I change? Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, Silver Ocean says a
I
bunch
just
of
don't have
people
that.
in their 40s and 50s are just starting. You know what? And that's one of the reasons I kind of make my videos with my buddy Russ, the millennial numismatist. And even though they're far less popular videos, just to try to educate and show what's out there, and maybe even create some new collectors,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think with collecting, I think the history behind the stuff is just crazy.
It is.
Like, you think about, that coin's been in circulation for 100 or 150 or 200 years, and it's just crazy to think about where that coin has been. It's seen the Civil War, it's seen the Great Depression, it's seen 2 world wars, it's seen Vietnam, it's seen all of this history, and it's still here, and now it's in my collection and I own it. And it's even cooler to see as it gets more and more rare as years go by, hey, this thing used to be worth this and now it's worth this. And the value on this stuff generally never goes down. I mean, I check my slabs on a semi-regular basis, and they always are either the same thing or they've gone up a little bit. I've never seen one go down in price.
Hey, you mentioned that PCGS app. Is that a free app, or you pay for that, or
it's free. Coinfax.
Okay.
Great app.
And then there's also Gray Sheet.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive, I think, to subscribe to that.
Yeah, Gray Sheet is always going to come in lower than PCGS. So generally, when I think someone's trying to charge me, maybe too much for a coin, I throw the Gray Sheet price at them and try to lowball it.
Yeah, PCGS, you always got to take a few bucks away because they always market high. I mean, they're pretty accurate, but I always take probably like 20, 30 bucks off, depending on the price. If it's like $5,000, probably take a couple hundred off. They just they really price it high. But it's a good app to use, a great way to get a starting price. Work off that.
Well, gentlemen, I think I'm gonna sign off in just a moment here, but I have to tell you, it's been a good time hanging out with you fellas.
Yeah, it's been a great stream. I'm gonna bounce as well.
Yeah, and all the folks in the comments that are here hanging out, nice to see all of you here as well, guys.
Absolutely. And yeah, if you want to find out a couple wholesalers, just shoot me an email, T.
Will do, man. I appreciate the invite too, guys.
Thanks for joining us, T. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And good night to you guys and Mrs. Triple P and everybody else who's watching. Good night, guys.
All right.
Good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night.